Hey guys, my name is Ammar Ajjoub and welcome back to another episode. As you probably may know that I recently moved to the iOS world with the iPhone 12 Pro, and I've been using Android devices my whole life. And a lot of you have been asking me what is on your phone after moving from Android to iOS. What apps have you been using? What apps you've downloaded because you were an Android user before. So to all of you who've been asking what is on my phone, today is your day. And right off the bat, you can see that I have in the main screen a lot of Google apps. Google itself, Google Maps. I don't use the Apple Maps because they suck. I am using YouTube, of course, and the YouTube Studio. We have like four different apps on my main screen that are from Google. You can see here that I'm using Apple Music because yes, I moved to the Apple world and I'm trying to get the most out of it even with the Apple Music. I moved all my music coming from Spotify to the Apple Music. By the way, you can go listen to my playlist, which is pure music, and you can find it on Apple Music or on Spotify as real music. And this home screen setup is almost exactly as my Android setup that I used to have on my Samsung device with the widgets and the apps. But I really like this widget from Apple because I can put a couple of apps at the same time in the same one and I can swipe between them. And I keep the weather widget as a default, and the second one is the calendar one because I also use it a lot. On the second page we have the clocks, which is, as we can see, we have a lot of clocks, but also we have other Google apps. On top we have some international times because I have family all over the place, and we have the Dubai one over here so I can reach it and change, for example, the alarm time. I should be asleep by now, but anyway. And of course we have the App Store over here because I'm downloading and uninstalling a lot of apps. Settings, of course. Notes, because I take a lot of notes for the videos, for everything in my life. I just like to have the Notes app a tap away so I can write everything as fast as possible. We have the photos, some utilities over here like calculator, which is I use the most, and wallet to check what I've been spending, and I've been spending a lot lately. We have another Google app, which is Google Translator. I even uninstalled the Apple Translator because it's really unuseful. We have here my favorite game, which I play every single day. If you want to hop in, hit me up. And over here we have iMessage, which I'm actually falling in love with. I'm texting all the people who have iPhones now on iMessage, and it's been really enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie to you. And here we have some other apps that I use also frequently. If we go to the app drawer that Apple finally included in this version of iOS, I want to type to you Google and show you how many Google apps I have on my iPhone, which is pretty hilarious. Of course, the Google app, as you saw, Google Calendar, sometimes or most of the time I use Google Calendar over the Apple one because this one I only use to know the date and like which date and which day it is. But for real productivity, I use Google Calendar still. Google Maps because Apple Maps sucks. Google Photos because I also have all my photos on Google Photos still. Chrome, which I don't use much. I'm actually using Safari. A lot of people have been telling me what's wrong with me, but I'm actually enjoying Safari. So I only keep the Google Chrome one just in case. I have Google Docs where I keep all my scripts of each video. Google Drive, Gmail that I'm still using, Hangouts, and of course Google Translator. Just to be clear, I have here the Apple Email app, which surprisingly is good, but at the same time it's bad, but like it's good. I have all my emails over here. I just go in and check every single one of them in one place, which is pretty convenient. The only Apple apps that I fully moved to over here are the Apple Music and Safari. And it doesn't stop at Google apps. I'm still using Adobe apps like Adobe Scan, Acrobat for PDFs, and Lightroom. I have the basic Microsoft apps because I'm still also kind of hooked in the Microsoft ecosystem a little bit still because I'm using a Windows laptop, but at the same time I'm not that hooked. The only apps that I'm really hooked into are the Google ones. And a final list of apps that I'm still using from Samsung, believe it or not, are Samsung Health, Galaxy apps, and the remote for the TV. I'm still using Samsung Health and Galaxy Watch because I'm using the Galaxy Watch with an iPhone. If you want to check more about it, I'll leave a link over here. I explained in that video the whole experience of using a Galaxy Watch with an iPhone. At the end of the day, as much as I'm loving the iPhone and I'm moving to Apple more and more, I still love the Google apps. I still use Google apps a lot because I love what Google is doing with their apps and services. And as long as Google search is still the most convenient, I'm gonna still use Google search. And if you enjoyed this type of content and you want to see more of it on my channel, then tell me down below what do you want to watch next. Subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget that life is all about love and dance. See you.